A while ago, I made a large EDC toolkit. It's in a bigger Maxpedition pouch than what this is in, but it ended up being a little bit too heavy. The kit it lives in my van. So for the most part, wherever I am, that toolkit will be close by. But this one is small enough and light enough to leave in my backpack. So when I'm moving from building to building at work, I'll always have this with me. So this is a smaller, lighter kit. Less capable, yes, but it still does pretty much everything that I need a small toolkit to do. For the things that I come across daily as an IT guy, over all the electronics, sound equipment, video equipment, networking, phones, computers, everything that's electronic at a college, this toolkit meets most of my needs. So let's get into this. First thing, let's get a weight. £1, 6.1 ounces. So this is definitely a lot smaller and a lot lighter than the previous kit, which is still a great kit and I still use it. But like I said, it lives in my van or in my office on my desk. It's in one of those two places, where this one, it strikes the right balance of being portable. Like I said, it stays in my backpack, so it's with me more often. And when I know I'm going to be needing it, this is small enough that it'll drop in the BDU pocket of my pants. So, let's get into what I keep in here. First is a pencil. You never know what you have to mark out. So, I have a pencil with a little clip to go in your pocket. Now, one of the things to go with it, I always have a small ruler in my pants pocket. This is a small 6-foot ruler from the Perfect Tape Measure Company. It's perfecttape.com. It gives you both imperial and metric. It's flat, so you can measure the distance around an object too. So since this is always in my pants pocket, I have no need to actually have a ruler in this kit. Maybe you will. Now, one of the things that I've been going back and forth about is the screwdriver. I've settled on this small ratchet. This gives a lot of flexibility. For a while, I had the screwdriver handle in here, which I kept a double-ended bit in, which is really handy. I like this a lot. This is not quite as convenient to use as a screwdriver. It looks like that says saber cut. You can find these on Amazon.com if you search for small saber cut ratchets. Because this will come out and you can stick it in, and it will not go all the way through. It has a stop. So you can get a lot more leverage when you need it, where you don't have that option with the screwdriver handle. So being a small, lightweight piece, this gives you something, like I said, where you can get a lot of leverage on. And if you use the shorter bits, which I have bits in here, this will also work as a screwdriver to get into places where you don't have much clearance. So this has worked pretty good. Like I said, it's not quite as nice to use as a screwdriver as a regular one, but it's a compromise that I was willing to make for this kit because of the flexibility that it adds. I keep an OITE OPRI. Now on this OPRI, you have 1/4 inch here, of course, bottle opener. They have to squeeze a bottle opener on everything. It's almost become mandatory. I think it's kind of silly. I'd rather have this just filled in. And then here you have kind of a makeshift wrench. It'll grab a hold of a lot of nuts. And then you also have a few 4mm bits. So in here I put some Torx bits so I can maintain my knives. So here's where you put the 4mm bit, and it also will take 4mm bits in either one of these holes. You just turn this sideways, drop a bit out, and stick it in the end. Like I said, these holes will also hold 4mm, but they just pass right through. So that's the OPRI. This is very useful. Now for my pliers, I use Nipix And these have been incredible. You can see the size on here. These are the 150 millimeter version. These are the ones to get. A lot of people like the smaller ones, the miniature ones, but I find them too small to do heavy work. They also don't go wide enough, and the jaws are too short. So these are just perfect. They're just the right size. And to go along with those, I also keep the same size pliers wrench. You can see that's also a 150. These are just great. The jaws always stay parallel, and these are much better than an adjustable wrench because you apply pressure on the sides of the fastener. It doesn't slip off, and it doesn't round nuts or bolts. Now in the little compartment on the back here, I keep some 4mm Torx bits. So I'm well set for anything I may need to work on knives or maintain my knives with this kit. Here's some 1/4" bits. I just have a few in here. I need to put a few more different types of bits in here. And then I have a 1/4" to 4mm adapter with one 4mm Torx bit. That's a T10. And here's another set of 4mm. These are smaller sizes. These will get me into most computers, most laptops, and then this magnet is proven to be really valuable. You ever drop a fastener down someplace and need to get it out? You can attach this onto the screwdriver and reach down into a spot, and if you have to, you could even put a little piece of rope or something through here so you can drop it down and retrieve that item. Here's an extender, a bit extender. So if you need a farther reach, and then I keep a couple of zip ties in here. Because when I get inside some computer cases, there's always a good chance I'm going to have to do some cable management. So there's a couple zip ties will let me take care of that. So this is what I have chosen to include in the kit. No, I don't have any tape in here, and I'm not going to add any. On my keys, I do have a pry bar, and I keep some electrical tape wrapped around that pry bar. And for the most part, that's been able to handle anything I need. If I have a wire that's braided or something like that, that's enough for me to put a protective layer over it, or just do some minor repairs. And that's been good enough, and if I use it, I'll replenish that tape. The idea here is to have as small and as light as possible with just the basics, to have the bare minimum of the stuff that I use on a regular basis. This is a small Viper 8-pack. Again, you can find all this stuff on Amazon. So I hope you've enjoyed this smaller, scaled down kit that still is very capable. That'll do most anything. Now the idea is not to copy this kit that I have exactly, but look at your needs and what you need to do on a daily basis. Use this as a framework and customize it and build your own kit that fits what you do perfectly.